And with no further ado, let's go cause some chaos. So I've talked a lot about Eboni K. Williams, and I was talking to a friend of mine. You all know him, Rick Caldwell. And Rick Caldwell asked me literally about an hour ago. He said, Jason, what is your deal with Eboni K. Williams? He said, because I had already told him I'm about to do a video about Eboni K. Williams tonight in real time. He said, Jason, what's your deal with Eboni K? And I said, you know what it is, Rick? Eboni K. Williams is the converse to the Proverbs 31 woman, where in the Bible, God gives us a very clear understanding of what a woman to be praised is like. But Eboni is almost 100% going in the other direction. And what I'm going to do real quick is we're going to look at Proverbs 1, just for clarity's sake, so we can all see what I'm talking about. So Proverbs 31, the first part is just the words of wisdom from King Lemuel. Okay, so you can kind of skip past that to verse 10 and listen to this. And we're going to, because we'll be referencing this back as we look at this video, because I really think at this point, nobody should listen to Eboni K. Williams. She gives advice that is just about as bad can get. And especially something else I noticed, as a single woman, she gives horrible advice to single women. It is very clear to say, and I don't think I'm going too far to say this, single women give the worst advice to other single women. Single men rarely do that. It is, you will see a single man want to see another single man succeed and give him advice to help him do so. You will hear single women, and we're going to listen in a second, and you just tell me if I'm making this up. But single women will tell single women stuff that it's almost like they're sabotaging them. And again, I know that's going to be email management, dearwokec@gmail.com. But in a moment, I think you're going to believe like, yeah, that's a bad idea. But let's listen to what Proverbs says, because I believe that is going to be a good foundation. An excellent wife who can find. That right there, the third word is already going to be a problem, because notice all of this is in the framework and in the boundaries of a husband-wife relationship. So it's going to make it really hard. It's almost like God is saying, like, this is where you want to strive to be. This is what you should be looking to become. If you're single and the Lord has blessed you to be a single woman, you should be striving and wanting to be this. This is what he's saying. Let us continue. Who can find? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. Come on. Y'all have already heard this, but I want you to see this. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. Now watch this, because everybody gets all up in here when they want to do the CEO chick, the boss chick, black girl magic. But watch this. She seeks wood and flax, and works with willing hands. She is like the ships of the merchants. She brings food from afar. She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. She considers the fields and buys it. With the fruit of her hands, she plants a vineyard. Let me stop real quick. Notice all of this is still in the context of a home. We're not talking about she went and did all this stuff, and then she's going to go find her a man that's done all this stuff, and they're going to come together and build like a super enterprise. That's not what the scriptures say. But let us continue. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that the merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her hand to the poor and reaches out her hands to the needy. All of this is, again, in the context of a marital relationship. It's almost like God is saying, start here, start at verse 10 and work your way through all of this. But let us continue. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed in scarlet. Not the boss, not the law firm, not the big company that she works for outside of the home. No, it says her household is clothed in scarlet. She makes bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Now look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Her husband is known at the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. Eboni wants to be the husband. Eboni wants to say that she sits at the gates with the elders. But the only reason the husband can sit at the gates of the elders and is well known is because the wife has done all that stuff at home. And he's replenished, he's refreshed, invigorated. So when he goes out into the world, he's well known. And he's able to do that job with excellence and awesomeness. Continue. She makes linen garments and sells them. She delivers sashes to the merchants. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the times to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and teachings of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Watch this. Here's the thing that we're going to see this in a moment, because Eboni talks a lot about this, and I don't think people even picked it up. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. So watch this. And you can go back and watch all my videos I've done on Eboni K. Williams. Notice how much she talks about her girlfriends, her sorors, people in her extended people in her family that praise her, that talk about how great she is, that talk about how wonderful and amazing she is. It's not her children. It's not her husband. So all these people are praising her out there in the streets. All these people are praising her at the city gates. But when she comes home, it's empty and it's quiet because she ain't got no husband. She ain't got no children. And she's lying to single women. Let us continue, Jason, because we ain't got enough people mad yet. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands and let her works praise her in the gates. Y'all, this one right here is going to probably get me the most emails from management. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm gonna get a lot of emails. So go and drop that email link again real quick, dearwokec@gmail.com. If you have question, comments, or concern, or you want to email management, let them know how terrible I am. Please make sure you do that. We're going to look at a video from Eboni K. Do I have the video up? All this talking, I ain't even got the video up. What is that about, Jason? Well, we're going to clip that out of there. We're going to clip that out of there, management. Producer Jason, make sure you cut this out. So I believe that Eboni K. Williams is the anti-Proverbs 31 woman. I know most of us in the church community, in a church environment, have been told, you want to strive to be like a Proverbs 31 woman. I've told my kids about it and it's such like about her and it's such of that nature. But I believe Eboni K. Williams is the opposite of a Proverbs 31 woman. And so what we're going to do real quick is I'm going to pull up this video, and here it is. And we're going to watch it. It's only 3 minutes long, but she gives so much bad advice in here that I really think that, I think she makes my case. And I'll, of course, want to make sure that you all can hear that. Drop this little audio here. Let's go. All right, real quick, just let me know if you could hear it in the chat. If you could give me a, it's supposed to be snowing tomorrow. Or like icy. So give me some snowflakes in the chat if you can hear this. Give me snowflakes in the chat if you can hear this.
Everyone loves to tell modern American women that we can have it all. Ever since I was a little girl, I've heard the same encouraging words that you have, that our mothers, many of our...
All right, can y'all hear that real quick? I just want to double check before we get too far gone. No. I can't get please don't demonetize your guy again. Please, before I get demonetized, please go to Buy Me a Coffee and support me right there. Because, oh my goodness, I can't get demonetized again. All right, get my notes ready because I had a lot of notes about this one. Because again, I know it is a dicey topic. It has a lot of people and their feelings about it. And we're going to talk about it. So let us go. Oh, yeah, and look, I want to make no shade about it. I think Eboni K. Williams is an easy on the eyes woman. Absolutely. Okay. I'll give her credit for that. I don't take anything from that. I think that, however, what she has been taught is not good. No bueno. Okay. Let us roll. Let us go. Let's go.
Everyone loves to tell modern American women that we can have it all. Ever since I was a little girl, I've heard the same encouraging words that you have. That our mothers, many of our fathers, our teachers, and yes, even our pastors have poured into us. That young girls today have more options than ever before. That we can go to school, get all the degrees, be bosses at work, lean in, make it to the C-suite, oh, and also crush it at home as wives and mothers. Breastfeeding, packing lunches, and being super mom, all at the same damn time.
Okay, I want to stop right there. First of all, that's a lie, though. You cannot be everything. Look, I know we've all told it. We've all been raised like, oh, you can grow up to be anything if you put your mind to it. I understand that. But in a moment, she's literally going to say, like, you can pause certain aspects of your life and continue to grow in one direction and then come back and unpause it and pick it up and you'll be perfectly fine, as if you were still at that age. That's not the truth. It's a give and exchange. Like, there's certain things that you've made career choices that you're not going to be able to go back to do other things. That's what regret is, or thankfulness that you went in one direction, you didn't go in another direction. But watch what she says.
And listen, a lot of that is true. We do have more choices and opportunities than any generation of women before us. Full stop. And I do.
Okay, and I want to stop there. Sure, you have more opportunities, but I dare say that you don't have. You have more. It's kind of like if you were raised when I was younger, the grocery stores didn't have an entire cereal aisle from that, an 80-foot cereal aisle. They weren't that long before. So now, yes, you do have a ton of more choices, but really when you boil it down, a lot of them are the same. There's a lot of those cereals repackaged by the same companies, the generic brands, the store brands, so forth. You really don't have a lot of choices. You just have more. I'm sorry. You do have a lot of choices, but there's really not a lot of options. They're really the same things. And so here, I don't think Eboni is thinking, and she's going to explain, I'm not being hyperbole. She's going to make it very clear that she thinks that all those options are available at all the same time. That's not the case at all. And again, just think about, is she making a Proverbs 31 argument, or is she making the anti-Proverbs 31 argument? Let's go, Jason. Let's go.
I do believe that women can have it all, but I don't believe we can have it all at the same time.
But you can't. So, for example, I will be 50 this April. There is a 0.0% chance that I can do any of the things that I wanted to do, that I could go back to when I was 18 and say, oh, I want to go do this chore, or, oh, I want to join the military, or, oh, I wanted to do this. I won't be able to do that. I can't. Those 32 years between my 18th and my 50th birthday were long. And it's a reality. So no, I can't have everything. And I made that decision when I decided to go to college. I made that decision and I said, yeah, those things, going to the Marine Corps, no. This thing right here, no. I just cut it off and I can't go back to it. And I'm perfectly fine with that. But you can't tell somebody that they can have anything they want, they can have it, and they just can't have it all at the same time. That's a lie. That is a whole bold-faced lie, Eboni. I'm sorry. There's no other way around that. You're telling people something that's not realistic, is not real. But let us continue.
And it's the incompletion of that thought and sentence that has so many black women today confused and frankly feeling judged and regretful about our choices to either put our careers first and go hard in the paint, maybe freeze eggs and hope to pursue motherhood later.
Let me say something stupid real quick. And please make sure you email management. I got to have at least 2 complaint emails. So please make sure you email management, dearwokec@gmail.com. Eboni K. Williams treats, and this is for all the moms in the chat, all the ladies in the chat. She talks about freezing eggs like I just went to Kroger and they had buy one, get one free ground beef. I said, oh, let me go and buy 6 of those because I could put some in the freezer. And then next week when I decide to make chili, I'll have some. Oh yeah, that'll be good. I need to do that. She makes it sound like it's just something that you just do. Like, oh, just freeze eggs. The inconsiderate nature, again, I'm telling you, single women give single women the worst advice. I'm sorry. I'm going to stand on that. What the kids say, I'm standing on business. I'm standing on that single women give single women the worst advice. Because there's no way you want them to succeed when you tell them something as ignorant as rather than go ahead and babies when you're 25, 26, 27, wait till you're 40 and it's going to be the same. I'm sorry, that's not, because Eboni K. Williams is 41. So it's going to be the same. No, it's not. It's going to be a whole different game. And the funny thing is she actually uses the proper term for this, a geriatric pregnancy. Ma'am, that's a different game. That's not the same. And everybody in his chat who's had a child can attest to that. I can go get Lady Dear Woke C and bring her in here too. Like, I know that this is a whole different game. So you're not just talking about something like, oh, hey, I decided not to shave today. I'll shave tomorrow. No, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different game. And it just seems like she's presenting this scenario. And the funny thing is when you put Eboni K. Williams' speeches together, across, different platforms, because I've heard quite a bit. I have to admit, I've heard like 9, maybe even 10 of her interviews. She says conflicting things and she tries to rewrite history. She tries to revise like, oh no, I didn't say that. These are not the androids you're looking for. It's like a Jedi mind trick. No. All right, let's go.
In life, or those that had babies earlier and now feel they have paid severe professional consequences for.
I'm sorry. Eboni K. Williams does not have a biblical understanding of the marital husband and wife relationship, gender dynamics, any of that kind of stuff like that. She's super duper 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 smart. She's definitely smarter than Dear Woke C. The problem is she's biblically illiterate. And a woman who chooses to have children, just think about it. I had some friends of ours. They were over the house recently. The husband and wife got married, but they had children when they were 18. Okay, she got out of college, and I think she was 20. Please forgive me. She was 20. So now she's 24, and they had twins right off the bat at 20. And I want to say when they were 24, needless to say, all of her kids are gone now, and she's like less than my age. So they're totally empty nesters. They can go do whatever they want to do. And their kids are doing really well. So when they come home, it's a blessing that their kids come home and they're able to help around the house or do all this kind of stuff like that. It's super cool. But my point in saying all of that is I don't think she would ever look back and say, oh, I wish I had went and, excised my options here at this company or did this, that, and the third in this industry. She stayed at home. She homeschooled and her kids are doing fantastic. I don't think Eboni has a clue. I would wonder, I do wonder, down in the chat, let me know if you think about this. Do you think Eboni K. Williams has friends who are stay-at-home moms? Not that like bona fide Susie Homemaker, stay-at-home moms, soccer moms, taking kids, soccer practice on the weekends and cello lessons, but they stay at the crib. Do you think that? Do you think she has any friends that are contrary? Not saying she doesn't have other friends. God, Lord knows she talks a lot about them. So we know she's got the power people, the boss babes, and the CEO chicks. She's got those. But do you think she has any Susie Homemakers in her circle? Anybody that just loves being at home with their kids, homeschools their kids, or is at home taking care of the house? That would be more like a Proverbs 31. Do you think she has that? I don't think so. I'm right there with you. I don't think she does. No, I wasn't sneak tip talking about April, by the way. I wasn't sneak tip talking about April. But no, I don't think she actually knows anybody who is a Susie Homemaker. And I don't know this emphatically. Eboni could come and jump in the comment section and be like, I'm crazy. She got 95 friends that are homemakers. Okay, fine. The reason I don't think she does is because the way that she disparages stay-at-home moms and those who choose not to be the boss chick, the CEO chick, the boss babe and the CEO chick is just, it's crazy. All right, let me back up a little taste so we can get a little running start. Let's finish this up. Let's go.
Or those that had babies earlier and now feel they have paid severe professional consequences for it. And listen, we judge those black women too. We tell them that they should not just take one step away from their work to lean into their passion to be a wife and mother because they're going to blow everything they've worked so hard for.
But that's what you say on a regular basis, though, Eboni. I don't think I don't know what she actually believes here. Now, I think most of the ladies in the comment section, I saw somebody right here, no, she would treat us like the bus driver. I agree. I don't think this is coming from a genuine place of concern for the next generation of like, let me help them because I made bad decisions. Because she's still standing on business that her decisions are the right decisions. And please understand, she's in the process right now of trying to do in vitro fertilization. So a lot of this, I think, is therapeutic for her. I think she's talking about this because we, in her mind, this is just my opinion, the listening audience, the viewing audience, our Eboni K. Williams support system. We're like her children and her husband that cheer her on every day because she doesn't have them. She doesn't have a husband. She doesn't have children. So therefore, just like in Proverbs 31, when the children rise up and bless their mom and the husband is so proud and thankful for her, she doesn't have that. So I really believe that what she does, going on podcasts and being interviewed, and of course on the griot, all of that substitutes that. And she gets those kudos and accolades from people that she'll never see, people she'll never hear, people that never actually interact with her and engage with her on a one-on-one, person-to-person basis. But they give her that false sense of hope and it drown out the fact, the ticking clock of her own biological clock. Back it up, Jason. Let's go. And again, I'm going to get an email for this.
Going to blow everything they've worked so hard for. Well, I'm telling every young black girl I know that empowering herself to have as many options.
Remember a moment ago, I told you that single women give the worst advice to single women. Okay. Remember I said that. I'm going to back this up a smidge. I'm just going to let her talk. And you just tell me, if you were a young single, right out of college, maybe like 2 years into your first job or whatever like that, how would you translate this advice that this single woman who's several years ahead of you, how would you translate this information? Let her go, Jason.
Empowering herself to have as many options around professional and family planning is the best thing she can do for herself. Listen, none of us know what we want to do in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Let alone in the next 10 to 15 years. But I do know that for every choice a woman makes around her career and her personal life, there is a reciprocal consequence.
Full stop. But she just told us a moment ago that you can do it all, but just not at the same time. She's about now to tell us that there are consequences, and those consequences are not to be able to do the things that you put off to do before. I don't think she listens to herself. I don't think she listens. And it's sad because there are people that do listen to this advice, and it might not be from Eboni K. It might be from somebody else. It might be from an auntie. It might be from a mom. It might be from a grandma sitting around the table at dinner. But this advice is horrible. And when I say that Eboni K. is the anti-Proverbs 31 woman, this is what I mean. Let us go. I backed up a little taste.
Around her career and her personal life, there is a reciprocal consequence. And what I deeply wish is that those consequences were not always framed as negative or detrimental.
Nobody said that they were. If somebody chooses to be a Susie homemaker instead of a boss babe and a CEO chick, that's perfectly fine. But Eboni is the one who says that that's bad. We can roll back the tape on previous other videos. She does disparage people who don't young women who don't optimize all of their options and nature. She's done that. It's not somebody else. It's not me. It's not me at all. It's not, I'm going to go on a limb. It's not most of them that are in my comment section. That's Eboni that does that. She's against Proverbs 31. She's the anti-Proverbs 31 woman.
So what if Sexy Red or any 26-year-old lawyer in Houston chooses to take a few months or even years off from work to birth and mother a child? It is not the end of anything. At least it certainly doesn't have to be. And similarly, so what?
Let me back that up. Choosing to have a child does change the options that you might have put on pause. That's just reality. Choosing to be, I'm praying that this person was actually married. So being married and having a child and going home for 3, 4, 6 months on maternity leave does change the complexity of, if you go back to work, that's going to change probably how you're paid. It's going to change your promotional status, all that kind of stuff. It does change things. There are consequences. You can say that they're not negative. That's perfectly fine. I don't think they have to be perceived as negative, but you have to be aware of that and say, well, yeah, having a child, you're now no longer, you're not going to be managing partner in 2 years. That's just not going to happen. But on the same note, having a child, you will be able to be a blessing to your husband and to your family. Like, I never hear Eboni K. Williams edify and build up people who make decisions that are contrary to what Eboni wants to do. But watch this.
What if a black woman wants to go nonstop in her career path for 20 years plus and then decide to pursue motherhood and or marriage later in life?
Single women give the worst advice to other single women. And I'm going to stand on that one. I'm going to that's fine. Please feel free to let me know that I'm a troglodyte or I'm a misogynist, whatever. I don't care. Listen to what she just said, that it is perfectly okay to go hard in the paint for a CEO, for a company, because really you're married to that man's vision. You're married to the board's vision. You're married to the company's vision, not to a husband's vision. So you go home quiet. There ain't nobody there to praise you. There's nobody to say how wonderful you are. There's nobody there saying a blessing that you are. She is the anti Proverbs 31 woman. Catch me outside if you disagree.
Stop in her career path for 20 years plus and then decide to pursue motherhood and or marriage later in life.
If they follow that advice, Eboni, are they going to be, so a 22-year-old graduates from college, listens to Eboni K. Williams, which, by the way, I think that's a bad idea. I would not do that. So she's 42 years old. She's gone hard in the paint. She's got all the accolades, all the plaques, all the letters after her name. Is she still going to be able to marry the man that she would have been able to marry when she graduated at 22? That's a very serious question, Eboni. Well, no, she's not, because the man that she would have or could have or should have married at 22 has already found somebody. So she doesn't have the same options. And see, Eboni has just lied to you. She just lied to you all. Single women give the worst advice to single women. And this is a perfect example here, because she just told you, oh, no, don't worry about it. You can go do whatever you want to do in your career path. Be married to that company. Be married to the CEO's vision. And then when you're ready, after you've given all of your best years to this CEO or to this board or to this company, then go find you a husband, as if the man is just going to be sitting around on the curb waiting. And then you can get married. And she even said motherhood. So we're talking a 42-year-old mother. So when you're supposed to be getting ready for retirement, you are going to have a child that's probably going to be crossing the stage in college. Really? Okay. Instead of being much younger, being able to, this is just dumb, Jason. Eboni K. Williams is the anti-Proverbs 31 woman.
And y'all know I know from firsthand experience that us, geriatric moms-to-be, have more difficult and expensive choices around our motherhood journeys.
It's almost like God knew in advance that, wow, if you do things as I have ordained for you to do, it's actually cheaper. It's actually less expensive. It's less of a burden on your body to do things according to God's plan, rather than doing whatever the devil is what she talking about. Because what she talking about right here, she talking about, again, Eboni is able to pay for this. Let me back that up a taste. Because the thing I don't think that they realize, you're not guaranteed that you took eggs and put them in the freezer and that you're going to get, you put 9 eggs in the freezer and that you could have 9 kids. That's not true. That's not true at all. It is very, very possible that a lot of those eggs did not survive. And it's very, very possible that the ones that did survive won't take. And it's very possible you could have 9 eggs in the freezer and you could have no children still. You're not guaranteed that. But see, Eboni has the financial reasons to do that at scale. And she's telling young women who maybe don't. I mean, Eboni makes has a great income. But you're telling this to young women who don't have that same financial ability. Maybe they should, instead of listening to you, maybe they need to go ahead and get married sooner than later and let all this other stuff sit by the wayside. I backed it up a little taste because I just want to finish this up.
Geriatric moms-to-be have more difficult and expensive choices around our motherhood journeys. But I also know that had I chosen to step away from work and become a mom 10 or 15 years ago.
10, 15 years ago, Eboni K. Williams is 41 years old. That means that she was 26. What could have been bad about having children at 26 versus now 41? Or, I mean, she kind of hints, I don't know if she's been trying to do this process. I don't know where she is in the process. But like, what could have been bad about having children at 46 with a husband versus now being a single mom at 41? Or if she's pregnant or not, watch.
I would have paid a different price. And yes, that also would have been okay. So if we really want to liberate and love on Black women.
I don't know why this is a Black woman thing. I know Eboni does. Eboni does a lot. Everything has a racial tone to it. Nobody should listen to this advice, though. Black, white, yellow, green, polka dot, alien. I don't care. Nobody should listen to this advice. This advice is horrible. Because at the end of the day, Eboni doesn't live where these people live. And she's giving advice as if she's just a normal Jane or Joan when she's not. Single women give the worst advice to single women. I'm sorry.
Please, y'all, stop the womb watching.
Baby, but you do it, though. Eboni. Again, feel free to watch any of the videos I've done on her. You can just do a search, Eboni K. Williams on podcast. Just pull her up on YouTube and listen how much she talks about it. She talks about it a lot because she knows deep down inside, in my opinion, she knows that she fumbled the opportunity to be a mom multiple decades ago. Rather than now she's trying to glass it over in a way that makes it look positive and spin it in a way that looks like it's like her choice. Yeah, you chose to do it, but you don't have the options available now at 41 that you did when you were 26. That's just reality.
Start trusting us to make the best decisions for ourselves, our bodies, and our careers.
You can do that, though. Nobody's saying that you can't do that. The problem is you're not going to have the same opportunities available to you. Treat us here telling single women that they can do anything and they can have anything they want. Lie. You can't. And Eboni knows that. She knows that. Even in the process now of her, and I don't know, again, I know she's trying to get pregnant. I don't know where she is in that process, but in that malaise, she knows that what she's saying is not true. Just not all at the same time. is an outright, bold-faced